All right, peeps, we are on and we are live, and today is one of my favorite days, y'all know, because it's Marci TV Day, and what is epic about that is I get to associate with the most amazing, phenomenal people and share them with you. So if you're new to Marci TV, it's all about just literally living a life of epic having it all. I believe in radical abundance in every aspect of your life because you are a true creator of your life. And so a lot of times I've brought goddesses on the program that are totally living in the epic space, and you guys have a new treat because today I have one of the most phenomenal epic men who is making a massive difference in not only the body connection but the life connection and what you're experiencing in your life. So if you guys are new to this experience, you know you can always go to the Marci app, which is you can get at marcilockapp.com. You can get on iTunes or Google Play, and you can download all the past radio TV shows and be able to take advantage of all this amazing information, the phenomenal people that I get to share with you on here. You can visit mindbody90.com to get my video series to liberate yourself from the lies and be able to find out the truth about how to live in a body and a life of health and just a rockin' out life. So that's kind of the theme of Marci TV, is we're literally diving into the aspects of how to create an awesome, phenomenal life. And if you're not living a phenomenal life in every aspect, my question for you is why the hell not? Right? Because we can, and if that's what I want to choose. So today I have a phenomenal guest on with me who I actually got to have a personal experience with and have gotten to work with him personally, and I see this constantly. I see so many people that I talk to are stuck in a block and a barrier of experiencing a great body of health, thriving in their body of health as their tool because they have physical symptoms showing up that stop them from experiencing great health, like a knee injury, a back injury, a hip injury, diseases, dysfunction, these things. And through all the years of studying the body and understanding the body, I 100% believe that every single physical symptom showing up is because of an internal emotion. And I'm going to quote Arttemis, who is actually the amazing, phenomenal, powerful creator, god of a dude. I get to call you whatever I get to call you, Arttemis, on this show. He said that every physical symptom showing up is just a question waiting to be asked. And I thought that is so true and so powerful. So I'm just going to give you guys my personal experience with Arttemis so you can have a little bit of a background and know how blessed you are today to have him sharing. This guy not only has worked with the top, and I'll let him share more, the top leaders and teachers in this knowledge for that are around the world. He's done is it 8? How many hours did you say of training? It's like
thousands.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. And I've studied the emotional, internal, showing up as physical and conscious creation in words, and I teach this but he is so much more advanced in this space, which I love. So he actually, I met him in Texas, I don't know, this last month when I was there for some different stuff, and he has a line of products in Whole Food stores. He does so many cool aspects of stuff, but what we got to get into is his deep knowledge of the emotional barriers, the emotional connections that are showing up physically. So what I want to share with you is that when I actually, I got a knee injury about age 17. I injured it playing soccer. My dad had passed away at 15, and I had a lot of associations. I knew physically things would show up in my knee that were attached to this, but I thought I'd consciously worked through it because I'm such a genius in the mind, and that's what I do. My opportunity is learning how to dig super deep with the emotional connection to it. And what was interesting is Arttemis said to me, he said that your body doesn't know the difference between past, present, or future. If we don't dig to the emotional root and shift that around, our body is still holding on to it, even though consciously I've let this go. So kind of the basis of it is that the knee is connected to relationships. And I had at 15, when my dad passed away, my mom started dating right away. She had a lot of fears of being alone, and so I felt like I lost my mom and my dad because she instantly started dating this guy. So I had a disconnect with this man she started dating, who's now my future, or now is my father-in-law, or my stepdad. I call him Jerry, but love him to death. So grateful that he's in our lives. And so now, today, such a great relationship with him, love him so much, but at that age, I was like this with him, and I felt an abandonment issue, and I felt knowing that it's and I'm going to let Art get into all this stuff, but can I call you Art? I keep doing that. I just do, right? You're like, everyone calls me Artemis, and I just decide that I get to call you Art. So I just get buddy with people. I love you, buddy. All good, right? So he had helped me see that, I mean, obviously the masculine side of the body, the right side of the body is where I was feeling this, and helped me get clear. I didn't even connect that this still had to do with my stepdad. And that even though I consciously now am in a great space with him, I emotionally was still holding on to it. And so my knee will show up every once in a while where it swell up and just, I mean, within minutes, I was so blown away at the ability this guy has to dig to that root and help you assist through shifting it. Because my knee has been different ever since, where it's not like where I normally would work out and it would still kind of swell up a little bit and cause me some issues, and I just would focus on what I want with it and work through it. But wow, I mean, if I would have found you years ago to be able to work with this. So this is the genius that you have in front of you. And so, I mean, just to give you a little bit about him, I mean, he's got, like I said, countless thousands and thousands of hours of study on the genius of the sacred body language and understanding the body. He also does huge things you can see on right in front of him. He's got the juicing for fat loss. He does so many elements with the body. So I'm going to hurry and stop talking and allow Artemis to share and more about his story. But first question I really want to ask you, and thank you for being here. Thank you for, like, I was so inspired when I met you and got to connect with you. I was like, you got to be on my TV show. We got to make this happen now. You have such genius to share.
Awesome.
So thank you for being here. But I want to transition this by just asking you to share with our viewers, who are you?
Well, I'm honored to be on your show because you're such a lighthouse, and I love your energy and I love your enthusiasm, and I know you're already a transformer and transforming just thousands of people's lives. So thank you for having me here, and
so
you're welcome. And you're welcome. My name's Artemis. I've been serving holistic health for 14 years. I've served in 3 clinics. I have a background in Chinese medicine and applied kinesiology and aromatherapy and juicing and raw foods and cleansing and detoxification, and I've been really on this journey to understand how the body heals, and more importantly, ask the question, what's keeping us from healing? Like, you know, I've been on this just amazing journey of healing myself. When I started 14 years ago, I was a very sick, pimply young man. I was in my 20s. I believed the world was a harsh place I didn't want to feel, and I would contract and hold on to my emotions. And yet I was also very sensitive and very intuitive, and I had a gift to help others. I didn't know how to express my gift, and along my journey I started to cleanse and detoxify my body. That's actually what I'm an expert in today, is juicing for fat loss, cleansing, detoxification, and building the body you love by removing toxins. Flashback 14 years ago, I was toxic, I was pimply, I was shy, and I believed the world was a harsh place. I literally did not feel secure in my own body or secure around others. And through this process of cleansing and detoxification, I went through a series of advanced cleansing protocols working with a Chinese doctor, an oriental medical doctor in Dallas, Texas. And as I got cleansed and clear, I started to express my emotions, and it was easier to feel my feelings and love what I feel. And right now, I want everybody who's watching just to play a game with me, and I want you to use your words and just say,
I love games.
Yeah, so this is a game of conscious language, of conscious creative speech. Say out loud with me, Marci, I feel.
I feel.
I heal.
I heal.
I can feel my feelings.
I can feel my feelings.
I can heal my body.
I can heal my body.
Say out loud, I feel.
I feel.
I heal.
I heal.
And stop right there and notice how you relax a little bit. And also, there may be a connection between feelings and healing. And if I knew then what I know now, I would have accelerated my healing so much. And yet, everything happened in divine perfect order. So I needed to learn Chinese medicine and 5 elements and cleansing and detox and nutrition, and I need to learn, about our energy centers and our energetic anatomy. And then, flash forward about 8 years into my training, I landed at the Tree of Life Rejuvenation Center, where I worked with Dr. Gabriel Cousens for 2 years. Now, this is a world-renowned spiritual fasting center with holistic doctors, naturopaths, nurses, raw food chefs, hippies, yogis, shamans. I mean, this is an amazing community of transformational experts like you. Imagine you times 40 with all different kinds of skills and backgrounds. And I was spa director at the Tree of Life.
Wow.
I was directing the spa, and I was creating advanced detoxification protocols to help people heal while they were fasting on green juice for 7 to 21 days. Nothing but 64 ounces of green juice for 7 days or 21 days.
Pure nutrition.
Yeah, and people would like lose 10, 20 pounds. They would grow 10 years younger. I mean, it was a very accelerated healing. Every now and then, though, they would hit a wall in their. I mean, I'm sure you've seen this in your work, in your mind-body program, where people make a lot of progress, but then they get stuck. Well, my job as spa director was to help them move from stuck to clear. And I was giving them massage and coaching and essential oil therapies and hydrotherapy and colon hydrotherapy, and I had a team of 6 practitioners under me, and it was amazing. And I thought I knew it all.
Yeah.
I thought I knew everything there was to know about healing.
Yeah.
And then about a year into my service at the Tree of Life, I've already served, thousands of people. There's a man that comes to our community named Robert Tennyson Stevens, the author of this book, Conscious Language. And he's a master iridologist, so he studies the patterns in our languaging, our body languaging, and our eyes, and he can dissect every limiting emotion and belief just by reading your body language and looking at your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot more to it than that. I'm just giving you like the tip of the iceberg.
I bet.
Here's a chart of our eyes and what our eyes reveal.
Yeah, Brian actually showed me that when I was in Texas. It's so phenomenal.
Yeah, and it is the, I've worked with some of the finest healers in the world. Chinese doctors, chiropractors, kinesiologists, meridian tapping experts, EFT experts, Dr. Gabriel Cousens, who's healed tens of thousands of people of type 2 diabetes, healed diabetes. What I'm sharing with you today is the most powerful system of healing I know on the planet, because it has to do with who we am. It has to do with our words and our dialogue, our internal emotional body as it relates to thought, word, and feeling. And we are made of thoughts, words, and feelings. And while I was at the Tree of Life, I met this man, Robert, and my wife was the second volunteer up to be coached. So he takes a flashlight and he looks into her eyes, all of 10 seconds, 5 seconds in the right eye, 5 seconds left eye, asks her one question and she starts to cry. And it was all about mother and receiving, and it was left eye, mom, intuitive, feminine side of life, also mom genetically. And I was blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to learn this stuff. And so flash forward 3 years from the Tree of Life in 2009, I moved to Austin, Texas, where I launched New Earth Center, New Earth Living Foods. I started a raw food manufacturing company. And I was on fire with conscious language and sacred body language, and I was just sharing this information with as many people who were willing to learn and to explore the power of words to heal, and more importantly, what their body and their spirit is really saying to them and how to upgrade their life. And we use the word upgrade a lot because every word we speak is potentially a prayer coming into manifestation.
Yeah, I totally believe that. I love that you put it that way.
I'm going to say that again because that's really something for, including me. I listen to myself while I'm talking, and I'm like, that's profound, and I'm still getting that, to the degree I'm getting it.
I'm writing it down. Say it again.
Every word we speak is potentially a prayer coming into manifestation, moment to moment to moment. And when we can speak our words with deep feeling, and feel the meaning in our words deeply enough, we can have instantaneous manifestation in our body.
100% agree.
And that's the power of this system called conscious language and sacred body language, is that if we have a symptom in our body, like let's say neck pain, and the neck pain has become acute or chronic, that's a dialogue with our spirit. We have deviated, we have gotten a disconnect from our head and our heart in some way. And my job as a coach is to help them understand where that disconnect was through questioning. And so Neck pain is not knowing what to do or not doing what you know to do in life. And left side is feminine, right side is masculine. If we have lower back pain, it's about not feeling supported, specifically in what way, how, with who, and then
And
you get to go ahead.
I was just going to say, and that even can get more in depth with, like, when I talk to a client and they say, oh, I've got lower back pain, I'm like, right side, left side, up, mid, or lower. There can be money issues with support, feeling support. So you can get super in depth with specifically how connected it is to something.
Yeah, and there's two conversations going on. There's the I feel conversation, and then there's the I think conversation. So, I feel is what's known as the lower self or subconscious. I think, I speak, I communicate is our conscious self, and I am that I am, or our higher self, I am, is what brings instantaneous healing into our life, is when we get alignment with lower, middle, and higher selves. And there's a saying in the ancient Huna tradition of Hawaii that seek always the alignment of the three levels of yourself, working in perfect harmony for the highest and best good of all life.
Wow.
And when we can align what we feel to what we think, to what we say, to who we am, when we get into alignment, that's when healing happens. And that's the power of conscious language and body language applied.
I love that, because it almost, like, for years, as I hear people's words, I instantly know their deep beliefs, their root causes. I ask them questions, and they're like, how do you know this? I'm like, it's in your words. But you just described it in such a powerful way that even with what we're speaking actually reflects to what's going on subconsciously and that lower level. And then how do we take it to the alignment of our higher self as well? That is so powerful.
And it's all about alignment, because if we speak one thing but we feel another, that's actually being dishonest with self.
Yep.
How many times do we lie to ourselves about our relationships or about money or about career? How many times are we settling in our life with our financial goals or our relationships or our business? And the thing about our words is that they matter. And if we stay untrue to ourselves, if we keep settling in our life, if we lie, if we judge, if we criticize self or others, that becomes stored in the body and we get symptoms. So sacred body language, what I did with you with your right knee was like, okay, let's look at the first time in your life you began to feel this pain in your right knee. When was it? And it was age 17. And then we looked at, okay, right knee is connected to kidneys. Kidneys are paired, and left kidney's mother, right kidney's father, genetically and experientially. And then also kidneys represent partnership and forgiveness. So if we have knee pain, the cause was in the kidney, and the emotional cause was resentment. And that's not always a fun conversation. So my job as a coach is to be very loving and present and secure with that person, and with you in this case, and help you renegotiate you back into your feelings at age 17, where you were really frustrated with Jerry, and you resented him for being in your life because you wanted your dad. You didn't want Jerry. You wanted your dad to be there.
Yeah, and I wanted my mom, and I felt he took my mom. So there was all that perception.
And so that was resentment. And our job in the coaching is just to let it be okay.
Yeah.
Love the feeling. And remember, I feel, I heal. I can love what I feel. I can love this feeling of resentment, and I can forgive and then take a loving action. And here's the thing about anger and resentment. Anger stores in the liver, resentment in the gallbladder. Anger unresolved becomes resentment, which is resending the energy into the gallbladder. The gallbladder then sends that energy to the kidney, and the kidneys start to tighten. And so the kidney is a mother of liver. When the liver holds anger, and then the anger gets unresolved into resentment, then the kidneys become blocked, and then the synovial fluids in your knees and ankles are not being nourished. So that's where the knee pain was coming biologically, but emotionally it was about the resentment you had for Jerry and being able to forgive and love him, and then in partnership with him, create a whole new emotional reality around how you partner with Jerry. Right kidneys are partnership, right knee is partnership and forgiveness, legs and body language are about moving forward. This stuff is so simple, but it took me years to learn all this and master it. And as you forgave and loved and honored Jerry just the way he is, and honored him as your father, not like stepfather, because what does that mean? Are you stepping on your
Yeah,
dad?
not father. Yeah.
Yeah, he's your dad. He's your father figure. I mean, he's someone your mom loves dearly. He's the masculine presence in your mom's life, and you what was required of you is to take him fully into your heart and love and honor him just the way he was. And then from that place of love and forgiveness, you were able to renegotiate a whole new relationship with the masculine side of life, right? Me.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
What I'm hearing too is what's cool is because I've seen this over the years, understanding the degree of knowledge I know in this is that like my ankle would show up and be, or I had my foot show up where like all of a sudden I had this weird crazy pain and I was like, what's going on? And I instantly went to emotional connections and was like, oh, fear of moving forward. And I was like, oh, that totally resonates. I'm about to go national. It was like when I was about to go national, it was their fear of like, oh, can I really do this? Who am I to do all this? And all those limiting beliefs want to come up. And I got to look at that and reshift it, and then it disappeared just like that. But here was my me that on the surface I always dealt with more in a surface way and didn't get as deep as you took me to something that had been in my life for years just dealing with. So it's so powerful to see that everything. So what I would love is to know, like, what are some questions, and get into that, like how you really allow people to discover what's really going on, because you say your job is to really just ask questions. With me, you just ask the questions, and then I instantly, once I put the triggers together, I was like, oh my gosh, I wasn't even looking there, you know? So give us some insight on the questions you specifically asked to reveal the pain or kind of the direction you go with that.
Yeah, every symptom in the body is a question waiting to be asked. And so my job as a practitioner and a coach is to translate the symptom, the pain point in that person's body, and create a question that elicits an emotional response. And here's the alchemy of this. And I love that word alchemy, because alchemy, alchemists are secret transformers of lead into gold. And so the lead is your emotional pain. The gold is the wisdom that you learn once you can touch the feeling and transform it. And so I ask a question that elicits an emotional response, and the emotion has been suppressed. So if we don't love what we feel, we suppress it from conscious into subconscious, and then that suppression of that feeling becomes outpictured as a symptom. I'm going to say that again. When we suppress what we feel, if we don't fully love what we feel, it becomes stored in the body, and then it gets pushed out, so to speak, as a symptom. So my job is to identify the symptom through sacred body language, understand the cause of that symptom, and then I ask a question that elicits the emotional cause, and that makes it emotional, which is good, because we need to feel it. We need to go, oh my God, I forgot about that, or I stuffed that down into my body. And there's a gift in there. There's gold. And so what we're doing is we're performing emotional alchemy, where we can find the gold. And when I asked a question about the symptom and I translate it, I'm shining light into an area that was dark or subconscious. When we bring light into the symptom and into the cause of that symptom, the person I'm working with becomes illumined. They become aware. They understand how they created this symptom, because every single person in their life is the author of their life.
Yep.
Every single person in their life creates their body with every thought, word, and feeling, and we don't always know consciously where we've deviated. So my job is to ask a question that elicits emotional response, and then from that emotion coming up, their mind becomes understanding, aware, and then the most powerful question, Marci, what does this turn into? It's not about getting okay. It's about living your awesome life. Like you said, living your exceptionally awesome, fantastic, amazing life. It's not about, oh, well, I'm going to forgive Jerry and just feel okay about him. No, you're going to forgive, love, honor, accept him, partner in new ways, move forward in partnerships with men. And now what changes with Jerry and all the men in your life? And it's like the most important question to ask is, once you've healed something emotionally, what does this turn into? And that's where you get into your conscious life. Imagine from the healed state. And that's taking this technology to some of the highest levels, is what does this turn into?
So it's something you tapped on, which I find is, I would love you to add your clarity and feedback on this and see where your perceptions are in this, because you mentioned that if we don't love what we feel, then we suppress it. And when I start teaching, it's like my week 3 in my mind body program, I teach conscious languaging and how every word you speak, like you talked about before, that every word you speak is a prayer. I wrote it down because I thought that's so powerful the way that you said it, that it's a prayer potentially manifesting. And so I always say to people, whatever you're speaking, literally you're declaring, your mind is looking for, you're creating. You are the creator, and it all is choice of even what you're speaking, putting out. But the clarity in that I found is see, if someone's got 100 pounds to shed, and they say, you know, I'm a fat burning machine, but they don't believe it. Okay, so they speak that, but their body says, you are not, I don't believe you, and that is not true, and they don't love what they feel the way you're putting it, then they suppress it and they hold on to it, and they actually, it reaffirms the limiting belief to be true, that they don't believe it. And I get into like, there's a space in the mind where your mind judges it based off of how you feel, and if it doesn't believe that you feel that, then it says, oh, it just reaffirms that limiting belief. So, like, for instance, if someone says, you know, I remember a lady in one of my programs where, you know, she'd be doing squats, and she said she'd do a squat and she'd feel her gut hang over, and she'd go, so she'd say, Marci told me to say what I want, so she'd say, I'm a fat burner machine, and then she'd go, oh, no, I'm not, because she'd feel her gut hang over, right? And so it's this battle internally, and I said, well, what can you believe? What can you feel is true? Can you believe that I'm stronger every day? I'm healthier every day? I'm more happy every day? Like, it's you know, and she's like, yeah, I can believe that I'm stronger every day. So it's like, then say that, because your body aligns with it. So I'd love to get your feedback on, you know, how you create that clarity for people on if there is a massive disconnect of how they're trying to say something that they want, but they don't feel it because of all their past evidence and living beliefs has said something that doesn't exist. How do they align with that? What's your perception on that?
1,000 prayers, positive thoughts, affirmations, decrees, workouts, nutrition. It's just repetition is the mother of perfection.
Yeah.
So it's a thing. Fake it until you make it. Like,
so do you believe, though, that they have to start where they do at least feel true to it? Because even a couple days ago, I had my mastermind at one of my groups that's on week 10. And the guy was like, it's weird, like, life now is awesome. Like, I do believe I'm a fat-burning machine. I do believe epic relationships. I do believe life is awesome. He's like, but, you know, weeks ago, he's like, we just kept going through the tools that you were teaching us and having to implement these new behaviors and these new thoughts. And he's like, all of a sudden one day I wake up and it's true. You know, like you're saying, just progression, you get there.
Yeah, consistency and repetition, and having someone like you, an awesome coach, and also a mastermind group. Repetition, coaching, masterminding accelerates the transformation of all of those discordant emotions and beliefs. Now, here's something you said that was really powerful. You asked her, what can you believe? And can is the I can. Go ahead and say, I can.
I can.
I can.
I can.
I can believe this.
I can believe this.
I can't.
I can't. It's
negative.
Yeah,
I know. It feels dirty or like nasty.
It's like have to or get to.
A lot of people are saying I can't, other than consciously, over and over and over again. So when you asked her, what can you believe? She went, wait a minute. I can believe I'm strong. I can believe I can do this. And I can, in conscious languaging, you know, we learn the domains of limitation. So there are 11 domains of self-sabotage and limitation. I can't and I can are two different states of consciousness. Yeah. And a lot of people who have weight gain and they have lots of, you know, fat and chronic fatigue and bloating and irritability, they've been in the consciousness of I can't, it's hard for decades, up to decades. And so what's the opportunity for each one of us is just to say I can, and I can, and I can. And just the words spoken out loud starts creating neuropeptides of I can that enters the spleen and lymphatic system and starts increasing the lymphatic flow. Just the words alone changes our physiology. The work of Dr. Bruce Lipton and the biology of belief, the work of my mentor, Robert Tinson Stevens, and we see eye color change. We see fibers reappear because our body is always listening, and our words are literal to our body. So when we say, I can't, I can't, I can't, and then we start saying, I can be strong about this, I can believe this, there are literal, our brain is like a CPU. It's a hard drive, that sends those I can neuropeptides down into the body. And if we're working out and we're saying, I can be strong, I can do this, I can heal my body, I can feel my feelings, I can love what I feel, I love myself, I love and honor me just the way I am. With enough of spoken languaging, there becomes a cascade effect neurologically of neuropeptides that actually enters the organs, and it starts changing our cell receptors to burn that fat, to produce those endorphins, to produce the right, adrenaline and serotonin and oxytocin. And all of this is a function of speaking out loud with repetition and deep feeling. So yeah, in the beginning you may not believe it. Say it anyway, because your body hears you. Your body is literally like a computer, and every word you speak is a biological prayer coming into manifestation, because neuropeptides, neurotransmitters, and hormones are being produced with every word we say. We know this now scientifically through the work of Dr. Daniel Amen and Bruce Lipton, that 70% of our transformation comes from our environment and our internal environment, and the words and thoughts we're using changes genetic expression. It transforms how our cells send and receive information. So I can, go ahead and say it, I can.
I can.
I am.
I am.
I will.
I will.
I choose.
I choose.
I have.
I have.
I love.
I love.
I create.
I create.
I enjoy.
I enjoy.
And how do you feel?
I love all that. And it's interesting because even in my workout videos, I tell people where I'm like, if you feel like, so say someone starts working out and they feel, all of a sudden the thoughts come up, I can't do this, I can't keep up, she's jumping up to here, and I, and all these limiting things that literally shut us down. Our thoughts create our emotions and feelings, and then they create our behavior, so then they stop. They sabotage, or they say, I can't do this. And it's so interesting what you're saying. It's so simple. It's simply what you're just choosing to speak. In the workout, they say, I can't do this, or I'm tired, or I can't keep up. They're literally, their whole system reacts. And I always say in even my workout videos, I'm like, if you feel dizzy or off balance, or you need to catch your breath, or guess what you got to do? You got to go here and you go, whoo, I got this. I can do this. Marci mini break. I'm strong. And then you jump back in. And it's just a progression at a time, that it doesn't have to look a certain way. And whatever you're telling your body is exactly how it's going to respond. So what do you want to experience? And it's so interesting how we create it to be such a bigger thing than really how simple it can be when you just decide, what am I going to choose to say? And what am I going to choose to focus on and feel and believe? And that's literally the whole alignment. I think the greatest clarity you're giving so many people and insight is that the mind, body, spirit is entirely connected. The people, like, you've done all the studies. I remember studying Deepak Chopra on even like the thoughts, how they realign and create the cells. And I do a meditation I have in my membership site, even for my mind body peeps, a cellular structure, talking to your cellular structure at night and telling it exactly what you want it to create during the night as it rests and recovers, and every single muscle is designed, and then in the morning that you want to create, getting up and thriving and feeling good and regenerating, and that your cells are getting younger. Like, you're literally creating new cells every day. You're getting younger every day. But when you believe that, I believe I look 10 years younger than I did 10 years ago.
Yes.
Like, I shifted my beliefs and my designing my body and talking to my body and I mean, look at you. You look amazing, like so youthful and young. I mean, it just speaks truth.
Yes.
Compared to, I run into people my age that I went to school with, and it's like they look 20, 30 years older. And I'm just blown away. Feel so great. So I love that you're creating this truth and this perception for people that it's really your choice of what you want to experience with your body.
Yeah, and if we feel stuck in certain areas of our life, whether it's with money or relationships, or we're confused about something. I can is the doorway of self-permission. I can do this. Like, whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way you're right.
I love that. Mm-hmm.
So Henry Ford, he knew the power of I can because he started from nothing and created $1 billion company in the 20th century, Ford Motor Company. So his I cans were major.
Yeah.
He kept saying I can, I can, I can, and he raised himself up into a titan of industry through I can. So I can is a powerful affirmation for all of us who feel stuck. I can do this. I believe in me. God believes in me. I can do this. I can do this. And if we say that enough, those I can energies enter literally our spleen lymphatic system is strengthened from I can. And the spleen and the splenic energy is about self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence. So a lot of people who are overweight have low self-esteem because they stop believing in themselves. And there's traumas early in life. You know, their mother or father said, you can't do that. You're not good enough. And then shame and guilt started compounding the low self-esteem.
This is the lowest energy vibration.
Yeah,
right?
Shame is the lowest energy vibration. There's nothing lower than shame.
Yep.
And what my teacher Bob, I keep pointing to this book because he's a genius. You got to come to a class with us one day. Bob said shame is shh, I am. So shame is shushing your I am.
Wow. Interesting.
And so when we give ourselves permission to shine, like I give myself permission.
I give myself permission
to shine.
To shine.
I shine.
I shine.
I am.
I am.
I give myself permission to fully shine.
I give myself permission to fully shine.
That's what happened when you went national. When you
know
went
what
national,
I would say with that? Because I so believe it now. I'm like, fuck yes. Fuck
yeah. Yes. I know. And it's
I totally believe I'm a goddess, and I know this, so.
Yes, and you are shining, and you're shining to the point where you can start transforming tens of thousands of lives. And a lot of us, we get to heal shame into I shine. We get to heal low self-esteem into I can, and I am, and I will. And here's the biggest truth I can give everyone watching. Our greatest weakness shall be our greatest strength. You know, it's in Scripture, it's in the Bible, and yet how do we do that? How do we transform our weaknesses into our strengths? It's through being aware of our languaging and our words, because like you know, our limitations are in our word patterns, and we have a system called conscious language and body language. The conscious language is understanding the words and what you know, every word is potentially upgradable. So I can't becomes I can't, I won't becomes I will, you know, I feel fear becomes faith. And all these thoughts, words, and feelings are upgradable. And now we have a system to upgrade them that I'm introducing to you that you're like, well, I've been doing this already, but man, you've got it really dialed in. Well, no, I learned it from my master teacher, Bob, and he discovered the system. And when you can look at where your weaknesses are, those weaknesses, that wherever someone feels stuck in their life, whatever they're struggling with, that shall be their greatest strength. Not might be, not hoping to be, not trying to be. That shall be their greatest strength. And so we are on Earth School to overcome our weaknesses and transform them into our greatest strengths so that we can shine like you do and I do, so that we can become transformers for our world.
Wow. So I want to go off on that. I have a thought process on that, but you have so much knowledge to give. I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, it's like I just wanted to make sure even I allow people to know where they can get in touch with you, how they can move forward in finding out the different things you do. I know, you know, like you're saying, the different classes, the different stuff. You've got obviously the juicing for fat loss. You guys make sure you notice right down on the bottom there, the juicingforfatlosstv.com. You do all sorts of stuff in that area as well. But Arttemis, tell them the best way that they can be able to learn more about you and what you offer and get in touch.
So I'm available on Google+. You can go to plus.google.com and just type in Arttemis with 2 T's. I'm the only Arttemis with 2 T's on Google, which is kind of cool. For now, anyway. So you
I'm the only one that gets to call you Art.
Yes, you are.
I don't know. Your wife might call you Art. She might be that.
No, she doesn't. But you are the only one that
really?
Yes.
I am special.
I normally correct everybody, but I love you, and I love how connecting you are with that name. So please call me Art. And so find me on Google+, Arttemis Keszainn. You can see my name in the lower third. Just type that into Google+. You can also go to juicingforfatloss.tv, and that's our 30-day fully guided juicing program to help you build the body you love, with 14 days of preparation, 3 to 10 days of juice, and 12 days of follow-up. And, you know, like you, I'm learning how to take what I've learned and really give it to the world through membership programs. And juicing is after 14 years of helping people heal at all levels, just add juice. Just add green juices and highly mineralized, high water content juices to your life, and it will help you burn fat and have energy and feel better, because it's liquid sunshine. So I'm a master of nutrition and juicing, and I've created a 30-day guided program to help people step by step by step learn how to juice to burn fat, but also learn juicing as a life practice. And so that's one of my programs. We also broadcast live on Google Hangouts about twice a month right now. And in 2 weeks, we're doing a hangout on Are Heavy Metals Making You Crazy? So about like Fukushima and radioactivity and heavy metals and aluminum and deodorants and how to get all that shit out of your system, you know, so that you can get clear. Because when we're clear in the body, we're clear in the mind. One of my mentors, Rabbi Gabriel Cousens, and I say rabbi because this man's amazing. He's a rabbi, an Essene priest, a Lakota medicine man, a clinical psychotherapist, a homeopath, and a holistic medical doctor, all in one. Mm-hmm. So my mentor, Gabriel, Dr. Cousens, when I was studying under him, he said, a healthy body houses a quiet mind. A healthy body, you know, what you're doing with fitness nutrition helps your students get a quieter mind and heart so they can start getting clear in what they feel. It's so important that we take care of our bodies and get clear on the inside, because all of this work we're talking about is 10 times easier when we're healthy.
And you just, I mean, you're going off on so many things that I'm like, I teach this and I want to go off here and I want to hear your perceptions there. But again, just so you guys know where you can get in touch with him, he's obviously got so much genius to offer. And you can always download the app and get all the past TV and radio shows and tons of, you know, recipes to even my green smoothie, which I 100% believe and agree with you. It's something that's implemented in my system is they get to do that green smoothie every day, because filling your body full of nutrition and cleaning out the chemicals. And like you're talking about, like I have a 3-day detox, which probably is not near as intense as yours. It just starts people on the process of getting the chemicals out so they stop craving and they're cleaning their body, because it is about realigning with your tool. Because the tool is the reflection of the inner self-worth, like we've been talking about. It's a reflection of the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs, all these things. And if you're worthy, you feel worthy and you're clear, your tool just gets to show up in health and energy and greatness, and that is your vehicle to experience everything else. So So obviously, I'm a huge fan of that as well.
We are like brother and sisters from another mother.
I know, right? We could go off forever. But definitely, guys, make sure you go to the juicingforfatlosstv.com and get connected with Arttemis and all the things that he's doing, as well as you can go to mindbody90.com to get the access to the free video series to start breaking down these beliefs that are limiting you and find the truths to set you free, and access the app at marcilockapp.com to get all these past shows. So now, because I still want to take advantage of the time, I want to...
Well, before we go on, I also want to just share with you that I'm very excited to share with some of our top juicing and smoothie recipes with your tribe and community. And so we'll be donating like our top 10 green smoothie recipes and our top 10 juicing recipes, and really give your community stuff that they can start applying right away nutritionally, because that's one of my areas of passion is conscious nutrition and conscious languaging. So, so you know, I'll be sending that to you in the next week, so you can pass it on to your community.
Look how excited I am. Like that's cool. We can totally put that in the app. We can have that on the membership site. That'd be great.
Put it in the app, share it, you know, because everyone deserves the best food on the planet.
Totally agree. And I believe there's the thing that when you talked about your mentors, like I have 6 coaches right now that I work with every single week, and the more I learn, it was kind of funny in the beginning where you said, oh, I thought I knew it all. It's like the more you learn and expand, you get to this place where you go, oh my gosh, there's more to learn and expand. There's more to learn and expand. Like, even describing the coaches you work with, I'm always like, oh my gosh, there's even like more super cool people out there I get to learn from. There's just, the more I learn, the more I realize I'm a kindergartner in life. But the thing I want to dig back around to is you mentioned, you said, and this is powerful, is that you said shine the light on their darkest issue. And I believe that through someone's darkest pain and their deepest shadow experience or whatnot, they find their greatest light. But most people, Arttemis, you can tell me what you think about this, but most people I see, we've been trained and conditioned to run from those things. The moment we feel fear, worry, not good enough, we hit pain buttons or triggers is what I call them, that target those limiting beliefs. People go, fear, run. And we run to distraction, TV, food, whatever it is that we use as our distraction from what we're really feeling, to try to just never acknowledge it. And we run from pain instead of utilizing it as the gift of feedback to go, what is going on here? How do I shine light on this, is what you said. Shine light on the area so that I can break through it and work through it. And it's just feedback to go, what's really going on inside me? If I hadn't looked at a deeper level with you, even at my knee, it was like that would continue to be something that it showed up as a symptom. And allowing me to look at that gave me freedom. And that's the biggest thing. I think the biggest shifter for people is being okay with that everything that shows up, it is just what it is. And there's no judgment or attachment. It's just been part of your personal perfect experience here. And if we get to look at it, then we can work through it to have greater and greater and greater. And so I thought that's so powerful that you're saying shine a light on what you're experiencing that is the negative, and that gives you the gift and the freedom to make it your positive. Like, and you were so, profound with that, to say, not it might be, it will be, it is. And so every single one of us, we have our challenges so that we can work through them and learn to share them with other people.
Yeah, right on. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes to everything you just said, yes.
Awesome.
I'll give you some words I was taught by my mentor, Robert Stevens, from Conscious Language. Just repeat after me. I breathe.
I breathe.
I touch.
I touch.
I stay.
I stay.
I stay.
I stay.
I love.
I love.
I feel.
I feel.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
That's all that's required when we have a dark area of our life, or something that's suppressed, something that is seemingly untouchable. All we need to do is make a new choice. I breathe, I touch, I love, I stay, I feel. And it's okay. Let it be okay that you've been through a divorce and you're frustrated, you're angry, you're resentful. Let it be okay you feel sad about losing the one you love. Let it be okay that you feel fear about not having enough money, or fear of the future. Let it be okay is a harmony point. And when you're letting it be okay, you're not running from it, you're not judging it, you're not pushing it away. And when you run from something, guess what? It gets suppressed into the subconscious, we talked about earlier. So you need to tackle that fear and like dogpile it and love it, let it be okay, and then find out what's inside of that fear. It's faith.
Yeah.
What's inside of your anger? It's forgiveness and authority. What's inside your sadness? Joy. And so all of these seemingly negative emotions, if you can just let it be okay and love and touch and breathe and stay and feel and get a coach, go see you and get your mastermind, because sometimes people need permission and a witness to touch what is untouchable. And here's the second most profound truth I can share with you. The first one is our greatest weakness shall be our greatest strength, period. Not will be, not hoping, trying, or working on it. No, it will be. If you really understand it and shine light on your weakness, it shall be your greatest strength. The second most powerful truth I can tell you, after coaching over 8,000 people in 14 years and helping heal the darkest of the dark, I have learned that every one of us as a human being on Earth School, we're going to be required by spiritual law to touch what is untouchable and love what is unlovable. All of us get to go through the doorway of forgiveness in some deep form or fashion, and it's not always easy. So I choose to make it fun and easy. I touch, I breathe, I love, I stay, I feel. I'm willing to love my sadness and let it be okay. I'm willing to love my I can'ts into I can. And I can, and I am, and I'm going to do this, that's it, period. And sometimes when we're at that precipice of touching what's untouchable and transforming that symptom into a healing, when we're at that precipice, we really could use a coach, a mentor, a guide. That's why your service is so needed and so required and so powerful, because we need a witness to help us go, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can love this. Essentially what we do is we give them permission. What I do with conscious language and body language is I'm a laser, and so I'm shining exactly where the deviation was and shining so much love and light on it that it kind of has to heal, whether they want to or not. If they feel stuck, if they're sad and they've been sad for 20 years and now they've got adrenal fatigue and diabetes, guess what? You're going to love the sadness until you get freaking happy. And you're going to be happy in my presence, and I'm going to help you pour so much love and light into your sadness or fear that happiness and faith is your strength returning. And this is the beauty of touching what is untouchable and loving what is unlovable, is it's required. You know, it's not optional. It's like we all get to do that because, you know, this stuff goes very deep. You know, and I have seen instantaneous healing. I have seen miracles with this technology where I've literally seen people with their stress lines go away in like 3 seconds, where they literally youth in 5 years. I've seen bones fall into place. I've seen bones self-adjust. I've seen people transform their DNA. You know, and I can prove it in the eyes. So when you get into this technology and you really, where the rubber meets the road is, I will. And I'm willing to be fully and completely conscious of, and I'm willing to be a full participant of my life. Meaning every word counts, every thought counts, every action counts. And you learn from you and your programs and our programs the right actions and the correct words so that you can be a participant in your life. You can fully participate in your conscious life with conscious language, conscious nutrition, and build the body you love, build the life you love. And anywhere you've deviated is going to show up. And here's another, you know, my third secret truth is that if what you want wants you, but you're not going to get it until you get into alignment vibrationally, which means you have to pull up the weeds out of your garden.
Yeah.
Where coaching and mentoring comes in, we need to pull up those I can'ts and those fears and those doubts, and we need to compost those weeds and turn it into your gold. And everything in opposition to what you really want, which is a heart's desire, not like, oh, I want more money, but no, I'm going to do it, that's it, period. I'm going to be healthy and wealthy. If you really, really want it, it becomes a burning desire. Everything in opposition to that want and desire will come up for healing.
Yep.
That's why in your programs, in the beginning phases, it gets a little intense for your students because they need to face the opposition, the resistance, and love it. Yep. Let it be okay. Keep doing the right things consistently. Love it. Breathe. Let it be okay. Move, breathe, exercise, fitness, nutrition. And in about 6 weeks to 10 weeks, a lot of the opposition has now been cleared so that now I can choose to make this fun and easy. So if anyone is watching this stuff for the first time, you can do this. And you're going to encounter some intensity because a lot of the resistance will show up in the beginning because it's your unfinished business. Yep. And as you engage that resistance and you use the right tools, of which you teach in Mind, Body 90, you're giving them tools to engage that resistance and overcome that resistance, then it becomes easy. It becomes fun and easy. And guess what? It's a continuous journey because just when you think you've got it, you don't. Like, remember your ankle pain before going national? Yeah. You know, that was your resistance to moving forward, and you need to touch that and then go national. Yeah,
I couldn't have moved forward until I looked at it, and that's what I love that you're tapping onto is even all of its awareness, but I think it's the awareness that it is like even you saying I choose to participate in my life, I'm willing to participate in my life, meaning I'm willing to feel everything and think and look at the thoughts. And I think this is the difference. I have a lot of people that I think in the empowerment industry, a lot of the teachings and that coaches focus on is, oh, shift the thought, oh, shift it to just positive. And where I like to go is there's people shift it, but they don't really deal with it, and so then it just continues to show up. And that's why, and you're talking about the same thing, is that we believe in going to the root. And I'm like, feel. It's okay to feel what you're feeling. Look at what's going on. Why do you want to sabotage? Like, I have a 5 steps to overcome sabotage where people look at, like, what's really going on? What feeling, what just triggered me? What feeling, what's the thought? Where's that belief? Is that even true? And then walking through it to go, well, that's okay that I feel this way. That's okay that I had this belief from the past and where this came from, but now what do I want? How to move through that? And you're talking about, I love when you say, I choose to make it fun and easy, because I always say, it's as easy or as hard as we want to make it. All based on our words, our thoughts, our perceptions about it. Like, eating healthy is easy. But some people can make it hard because they choose to make it hard, and it's just food. It's as easy or as hard as you want to make it. Your thoughts can be easy. But it's that progressional state. And you said, I mean, having a coach. What's phenomenal to me is here you are, this genius who has so much knowledge and capacity, and yet you have coaches.
Absolutely.
I have 6 coaches right now that I pay large sums of money to hold me accountable and commitment, investment in growing and learning, because it's always about expansion. And so, we get this awareness, but then if we don't choose to just, I think it's being at peace, being at total peace with just participating in it. And so I love the way that you put that.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to share, go ahead.
We all need to find our harmony point. There's a point where we can let it all be okay. Like in Louise Hay's work, Heal Your Body, Heal Your Life, in 40 years of affirmations, the most powerful affirmation she found was, I deeply and I completely love and accept myself.
Yeah.
I recommend we upgrade that and transform acceptance into honoring, because honoring as a frequency is a little bit more powerful. I deeply and completely love and honor me.
Yeah.
I love and honor myself. That's your harmony point. That's the point where you just let it be okay. You stop judging it. You stop criticizing it. You dig down into that root of fear or doubt or sadness or frustration. You just let it be okay and love it. And that's when emotional alchemy, that's where the rubber meets the road. Because if we just roll over our feelings, if we just compulsively correct our languaging and our thought patterns without fixing the emotion, then we're missing 80% of the correction, because our feeling world is senior. We magnetize into our life by what we feel. So let's get into that root of fear, just like you said. Let's what's the thought? What's the memory? What's the belief? Is it true? That was gold. You were Louise Hay and Byron Katie in like one sentence.
I know, that's what I
do. And you just let it be okay. Love it. Go into a deep place of contemplation and acceptance and pull that weed completely up, and then it becomes your greatest strength. And what I bring to this conversation and what my teacher taught me is, what does this turn into? Because fear is faith returning. Faith in what? How? In what way specifically? And now that you've felt this way for 10 years, what's new and different? So there's so much more available to us in our coaching and healing, of which I'll share with you in your community. It's not just about getting okay with it. That's the first step.
Yeah.
It's about thriving.
Yes.
Choosing to thrive and going your full return of fear, your full return of sadness, which is living your joyous, happy life, having what you desire and require, and claiming it and communicating it. Specificity brings feeling, and so that's where these tools and technologies of conscious language and body language, they're really about specificity. They're about getting specific and getting outside of your box, and that's where it gets fun for you and I as coaches, because we get to see people in their highest potential before they can see it themselves.
Yes, I always just thought, that's just one of the gifts God gave me, is literally people come into my space and I see their greatness, but they don't see it. And they're just blocked. And it's just this path of, let's unblock all these things. Let's be okay with it. Let's look at it. And then, and the thing that I love that you said is thriving. Because this is why I'm like, my life continues to get better and better and greater and greater and more amazing, where my stories and the victimhood and the martyr and all the identities and the perceptions, the beliefs that I had, I lived a really hard life because it was my choice, and that's what I attracted, and that's what I focused on, and that's what I was creating. And now it's like my life, even years ago became epic and amazing, and now it's like even way more phenomenal than I could have even imagined a couple of years ago, and it just keeps growing more into this space because I continue to use the same tools. And it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper and allows you more greatness. And even when you shared how out of our creating forgiveness and how we get to look at all these things and shift it, it made me think of, my ex who cheated on me and I became a single mom. Like when I teach internal representation, shifting the things from the past and how you get to see them out of gratitude, like I have such pure love, gratitude for my ex for that experience, because how I shifted it was realizing I was given the opportunity to experience ultimate forgiveness, and he was the gift. Yes. He was the one that signed up for that and said, "Oh, I'll allow you to do that. I'd be happy to assist you with that." And yes. He gave me this amazing opportunity to experience what is it really like to go from that pain or that resentment or that perception to pure love and gratitude for someone and seeing them through Christ's eyes and allowing myself to experience pure forgiveness. And I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I hadn't had that experience to shift me on my path. And so it all just truly is divine. It's all just
And
perfect
I'm
experience.
getting chills all over as you say that because you're just speaking so much authentic truth. By the way, anytime we get chills in a conversation, that's the presence of spirit and truth. And it's
Wow.
literally like our little rectopili muscles are like, waves of truth and Holy Spirit are just flowing through us. It's so cool. So I have an upgrade for you. So when we say ex-partner, now say former partner.
That's right. Brian had told me that. He caught me on that, and I was like,
Yes,
oh,
just
okay.
former. Yeah,
Got it.
because you have forgiven him because I saw your alignment. Like I was observing your body language as you said that,
Yeah.
and you actually have forgiven him fully and completely. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now, with your words, use former partner instead of
Got it.
ex. And we use ex-partner, ex-husband, ex-convict because there's such a connotation to the ex-ness of it. And
Yeah.
now with former means I've healed this and it's in my past with love. So
Love it.
former partner, former husband, use those words from now on and watch how your tone shifts
Hmm.
just by changing your words. And one more thing before we complete the call, we could talk for hours.
I
So
know.
every word is potentially a prayer coming into manifestation. So what I encourage people to do is observe the trajectory of their communication and see if it's aligned with their highest truth. And so you can upgrade, you can change, cancel, clear. When I first learned conscious language, I was canceling a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And let it be okay that you got stinking thinking and some words that aren't your highest choice. Be the participant and the observer of your life. Experience the trajectory of your words in conversation, just with your husband or your wife or your friends or your coworkers. Just observe what you're saying and going, wait a minute, is that my highest choice? If
Mm,
not, upgrade it. I
yeah.
can, I will. My outcome is I choose to do this. And as you start upgrading your words, what you think affects what you feel, and what you say affects what you feel, and what you feel affects what you say. It works both ways. That's the coolest thing about this system of conscious languaging is that even if you're struggling in certain areas of your life, changing your word patterns will eventually change what you feel because what you feel is reflected in what you say and vice versa. So this stuff does get easier. It's a little bit of a struggle at first because you're like, man, I got all kinds of languaging that
Mhm.
sucks. And you're
It's
like, wait a
awareness.
minute. And you just become a participant in your life and like, well, I'm willing to take the Mind Body 90 program. Well, I'm willing to read conscious language. I'm willing to, do a program with Artemis and Krystalle and see how much is available to me and make these slow changes. Changing your feelings changes what you say. Changing what you say does change how you feel. You got to work it.
And what you feel, it creates your behaviors.
Yes.
And your behaviors leads to your results. And I always say, like, it's like our perception and our belief about life, or the thought that comes into our head then correlates to, like, people can say a thought and all of a sudden they're so emotional, and as soon as I assist them in looking at that and shifting the thought to, it's like going from fear to excitement. Like, fear and excitement are the same. It's energy without direction, or energy without breathing. And
Mm-hmm.
fear is just energy without breathing. And as soon as we go from, oh, I'm afraid, to, oh, I'm excited, what could this look like? Like, it's just, once they go through that and we actually go through that process, that shifts your behavior of what you're going to create and then how the results that you have in your life. So it's all connected down to your words. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. So,
And and by our words we shall be justified, and by our words we shall be condemned. There's so many sayings in Scripture, and it's not about religion. It's about states of consciousness. It's like
yeah.
when we talk about the power of our words, it's about consciously and constructively creating our lives so that we speak what we choose and we get into alignment. And if we say one thing and feel another, it's going to show up as a symptom eventually, until we get into alignment.
Yeah. And Artemis, you literally just locked down exactly what I'm passionate about, which is just becoming conscious. Like, we're living subconsciously out of
Mm-hmm.
our words and our thoughts and our beliefs and all these past things, and now it's like choosing to participate in life, as you said, and become conscious of what are we choosing moment by moment with every word, every thought, our actions, and who do we want to be, and how do we want to create our life experience to be. So
Yeah.
I so have enjoyed this, and I could literally talk to you for hours. I knew this would be the case, but the opportunity is that I get to, like, literally be in my car within 2 minutes to be on a flight to California for TV there, and all the fun stuff I get to do speaking this weekend.
Awesome.
So I definitely want to, I know you have some fun stuff. You even talked about maybe creating an opportunity that you could do a live experience showing people how you can take this physical symptom that's showing up and shift it so quickly. So tell me what you've got going on again, and at least where everyone can find you and be able to
Sure.
take advantage, or experience your awesomeness.
Sure. So if you're interested in juicing and building the body you love and learning about raw foods, juicing, and detox, go to juicingforfatloss.tv, and we have a free report teaching you how to juice like a pro with videos, and we also have hangouts we do and giving you like foundational information on juicing, conscious nutrition. And then for your community, I really choose to create something special where we do like a private broadcast, for the people who've signed up to your programs or your mastermind, and I can demonstrate this technology, sacred body language, live in real time, and we can really create a mastermind of well-being, and we can create basically a field of miracles. And that's what I've been trained to do by my teacher, Robert Stevens, is we can demonstrate this technology. We can help some of your personal students overcome limitations and blocks instantaneously, and I can demonstrate this technology to anyone who is part of your little inner circle. So let's do a hangout in the future.
Yeah, I'm so excited about that. So I'll connect with you on setting a time and creating that, and then we'll put it out to all my peeps that have done my 90 Mind Body Transformation program, my Mastermind Breakthroughs, my Goddess program, and then be able to create some epic experience with that. I'm super excited. Plus, we'll get some cool recipes from you to share with everyone.
Yes.
On the app and all that good stuff too.
Yes, I'll give you my top 5 juicing and top 5 blending for beauty recipes, and we're creating a whole just beautiful program on blending and blending for beauty using 14 years of product knowledge and experience I have. So I'll share that with your community too.
I'm so and I knew there was reasons I was meant to go to Texas and you were one of them. So awesome. I'm so glad that we got to interact, and it wasn't a planned thing. It was literally I was with friends who I was coaching a little bit on fitness coaching and doing some of their stuff, and they had a meeting with you. You're one of their coaches, and I got to meet you. So it's so awesome how divine guidance and alignment always shows up and just gives us the greater ability to learn from each other. So thank you for sharing your knowledge today, for sharing your genius. I so honor you. I was so I know we're divinely connected. Like you said, I'm you are my brother from another mother. It's so cool. So again, awesome. If you guys definitely check out what Arttemis has going on. Look for those awesome recipes, things. We'll get those added to the app. I'll definitely connect with him and have my team on that ASAP, because I know you're all I'm super excited about that. Go to mindbody90.com if you're looking to literally get into all this stuff and get to that deeper degree, be able to take advantage of having a coach, or I don't want to say take advantage. What's the word for that? I've recognized that lately. What's the word?
Yeah, if you're looking for empowerment, if you're looking for your answers to your solutions, it's a simple upgrade.
There you go. Yeah, I knew advantage was every time I said that, I felt a negative energy. I'm in that attitude, and I was like, wait, what do I want to say instead? So perfect.
Yeah, if you're looking to get empowered, because you are an empowerment specialist.
Yes. So you can do that. You can get the Marci Lock app. You can get all these past shows and be able to share this show with Arttemis and his genius with even your friends, family. You can always have access to that. So we'll make sure we let everyone know how they can get some more awesomeness from Arttemis. Thank you for taking the time today. So appreciate you, and your cute wife in the background.
Yes, she's at our kitchen right now. So
awesome. We'll tell her I love her too.
We're going to create some miracles in the future, and we're going to do some cool stuff together. So I look forward to seeing you again and empowering your community to just awaken fully their conscious life.
Cool. Thank you so much, Arttemis. I'm going to go jump on a plane, and you go create an awesome, epic, amazing, wonderful day, as I know you always do.
Every day in every way. That's
right. Thanks. Okay, you guys, have a powerful, wonderful day. Remember that the power of choice is yours. Choose your best life and go lock it down.